wonderful guest joins us, Jessica Bennett from Newsweek. Jessica, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. You've written this piece, Fat Camp in Your Face, which I like that as a title. And it's about the the television show Huge. Tell us what that is first.
Sure. Huge is a new series that premiered last night on ABC Family. And it's set at an upstate New York fat camp. And it basically stars a bunch of fat kids at a fat camp trying to lose weight.
Are we allowed to say fat? Aren't we supposed to use some sort of euphemism? Like
well,
fleshy?
I know you guys aren't politically correct.
So you do know.
But I also, you're replacing Larry King. Is this true?
Well, look, Jessica, I didn't want to announce it on air, but here, let's talk off air, okay? I'll give you a scoop.
Okay.
So now back to Huge. So is this one of those things like, ha ha, look at fat people, or is it on the side of fat people? What is it?
Well, it's a drama, so it's not a reality series. It's not aiming to have viewers gawk at people who are obese. And I think, the problem I have with it is it's kind of a mixed message. I'm not really sure what it's saying. The lead character is played by Nikki Blonsky, who starred in Hairspray. And she's fantastic. She's really quirky. She's sarcastic. She has all these great punchy lines. In the first scene of the first episode, all of the kids are forced to line up in their bathing suits for their before picture. And, she's mouthing off to the counselor saying she's proud of being fat and she's not going to conform to what society wants her to be, which is great and I think refreshing. But, 10 minutes into the first episode, we realize very quickly that it's the skinniest of the fat people at fat camp who get the guy or get the girl, and everybody kind of wants to be them. And some of the girls plaster Inspiration, which is cutouts of skinny models and skinny celebrities for inspiration, and they plaster their walls with it. So it's a lot of mixed messages.
My problem with it, Jessica, is that this show is basically aiming at poking fun at overweight individuals, right? Like, I know that there are a lot of stereotypes that are pushed in the show. For instance, there's this one scene where Nikki Blonsky is sneaking food and basically giving it to other members in the fat camp. And it just seems like one of those shows where everyone can poke fun at the fat characters and, oh, look at this train wreck. Like, I just feel like ABC is trying to get ratings by poking fun at fat people. Is that true or no?
I'm not sure what they're trying to do. It's interesting because I definitely see your point. She's basically the pimp of the camp selling, Twinkies to campers who are stuffing them down their throats. So it certainly plays into a lot of these cliches. At the same time, she's got this kind of contrarian viewpoint, which is, well, I'm going to gain weight in rebellion that you're sending me here and forcing me to lose weight. But then, she runs away from camp and she comes back and decides she actually does want to lose weight. So, you raise a good point. Is this still some kind of fatsploitation, if you want to put it that way?
Okay, I'm amused by that word, too. All right, here's the conversation I really want to have, though. What should be our policy towards fat people? Okay, and
in life,
right? And I'm not just the CEO here. I'm also a member. Okay, so that doesn't quite work, but I do that every once in a while. Anyway, so I'm overweight myself. Well, but so what's the situation? Should we say, all right, Cenk, good job, way to be 235 pounds, you fat ass, or should we say Cenk's a bad guy and he needs to lose weight and he's costing the rest of us insurance money by covering his ass?
Can I answer that question really fast? I think the one thing that's frustrating and one thing that I feel like is never going to change about society as a whole is making the fact that someone is fat such a big deal. Like, if someone is fat, that always automatically defines them, okay? Mm-hmm. Like Gabrielle Sidibe, right? Her role in Precious, we had numerous discussions about her and said, look, she's a fat actress. She will always be a fat actress, and she's only good for fat actress roles. Her weight defines her. I kind of want to move away from that. I don't want to have the discussion of what should we do with fat people. Why do we even need to have that discussion? Why can't they play regular roles? Why is it that we have this ABC series where all of these actresses are fat, and it's only about the fact that they're fat, and they're in fat camp.
All right. Well,
right. Exactly. And I mean, it's only playing into the stereotype that the only fat people on television, period, are on a show about fat camp.
Exactly.
You know, if we really want to show a diversity of bodies, put different sized bodies on regular TV, you know, not on something about fat kids. And the other thing I think that bothers me is that it's always the two extremes. You know, there's the size 0 anorexic skinny models and people in Hollywood, and then there's the morbidly obese. Like, there's nobody in between that just looks normal.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's a great point. But, you know, there are some overweight characters in television, of course. In Modern Family, Cameron, the guy who, the character Cameron, who's one of the, in the gay couple, and he's fantastic, you know. And they never mention his weight. So.
I know, I love that. That's
right.
probably one of my favorite characters in television right now.
And just because he's really funny and nothing to do with his weight. But
Right.
But overall, guys, I'm going to challenge both of you because, look, keep it real. Do people want to watch skinnier people or fatter people? Generally speaking, I mean, look, all things being even, and I know all things are not even, right? But they do want to watch skinnier people. They are attracted to attractive people. I mean, Jessica, doesn't that make sense? So can you not see
Well,
why?
I think people are also attracted to people who look like them. So, okay, right now, you know, over 60% of Americans are obese. So if you were to accurately reflect that on TV, you'd have to put a lot of obese people on TV. But not all of us
Can you imagine?
are...
I mean, can you imagine
but
if
not all
TV
of
was
us are
60% fat people?
size. Oh, no, but nothing's going to change if we just keep putting all of the fat actresses and actors on a show about fat camp, I think.
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you. And look, I'm with you guys. Of course we should have people sprinkled in, and you know, but at the same time, I'm not surprised that the news stations, as an example, hire, you know, pretty women to do the news, and pretty guys too.
Right.
And I don't think we should get too overly surprised by that. So, and look,
Right. Well, it's the whole attractiveness bias in everything.
yeah, and I don't think that we're going to be able to get beyond that. So I think my final conclusion on it is, look, we should encourage people to get as healthy as possible without judging them, without being overly judgmental. Can we get a deal on that, Jessica?
We do. I'm with you.
All right. I knew we were going to get a deal. Okay. All right. Jessica's article is called Fat Camp in Your Face. It's of course, on Newsweek and also on Newsweek.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.